Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Fast Friday, a Link to the Past randomizer, where we start off with early boots. I'm Leslie Pro, joined tonight by Professor Renderer. How you doing?
Beep boop, I'm a robot.
Nope. Or was I presumptuous in saying that? But anyway, what makes Fast Friday fast? It's not just fast boots. It's that once you get the 7 crystal requirement, you can go straight to Ganon. You don't even have to go into Ganon's tower unless, say, you only have Fighter's Sword. In which case, because we're all counting on you. And we're getting ready to get underway here. And they're off. 2 Sanctuary starts on the right. 2 Link's House starts on the left. A key on the right. Heart Container on the left. And we had a quick map check that we have a 6 crystal at Hera, a crystal at Eastern, and a pendant of some kind that was over at Desert, but I didn't see what it was.
It's just, I think, a regular.
Okie doke. And Bonk Rocks is just 10 arrows. And Zelga is running right over to the eastern area. Gonna bonk into Sahasrah's closet to see what's here. $10 bombs and 40 rupees. Actually, the bombs are pretty good because that sets you up for Kakariko nice. Looking at Lumberjack Cave. Let's see if I can get a better look on rail inside. That is just arrows. Nothing of value there whatsoever. So Agam 1 not required for that.
Because unless you're like very, very desperate.
And more money in the Lost Woods. And even more money in the Lost Woods. We're still hoping for a loaded Kakariko because in terms of progression, this has been a very spare start.
Because we have a bunch of junk items and nothing of progression.
Tank here picks a bomb up from the bonk rocks that are next to the sanctuary. No, not the sanctuary, the fortune teller north of the village.
Bonk would be next to Sanctuary.
I've always called them bonk rocks for some reason, because that's how you break them. And now we get in Blind's hideout, piece of heart container, 20 rupees, 3 bombs, which was well timed for Tank here because no bomb. That was the only bomb that they used to open that up. And 50 rupees. Ooh, stingy. Tonight we are seed. And, well, we got something there in the lamp. But you have to win a 15-second race to get it. You might as well. So what Lin set up here is a water walk to... Well, let's see where this goes. Well, that's a faster way to Ice Rod Cave. We got a bug net and a sword, so right now, down the well, having the goods. Another piece of heart, a hook shot, and a heart container. So, yep, now we're starting to get somewhere. And Ice Rod Cave also has a sword. So that's 2 swords already, and we're not even 4 or 5 minutes in. The chicken hut's only a piece of heart, but that's okay.
Ready, set up for a water walk. Gonna head over to the waterfall.
Meanwhile, a 3rd sword was recently found. This one at the back of the bar must have been armed defense from robberies or something. Moblin raids? Possibly. Now for an out-of-logic visit to the hobo, using Water Walk. I gotta learn this technique sometime, and that's the Cane of Burna.
But only useful in only don't have access to it.
Now we are heading off to Mini Moldorm Cave as Raylan's about to get the lamp. As is Zelga. Mini Moldorm Cave having the Fire Rod, the Moon Pearl. 5 rupees. Piece of heart. Piece of heart. So, Fire Rod and Moon Pearl, that's really good.
Oh, definitely. It's probably a great things you can get from any Moldorm. That's now we do have. We're a little bit closer.
And a flute at the dam. Raylan gets it first. Vidlin and Zelga get it next. On pretty much the same frame.
The flute, yeah. That now that brings Death Mountain, and it's also full in a lot of it too because we have East Death Mountain. Not necessarily to have access to the East Death Mountain side.
Oh yeah, with all the stuff we can check at Death Mountain, I would definitely make that the next play, but Lin is going right over to see what's over at Agina. There was a seed recently where this was a required play, so that could be the reasoning why. Maybe it's the way the seed started. Hard to say.
This Agina play is kind of normal for
It's
nice divergence.
Well, it's understandable why you'd make that play. And I also understand why you wouldn't make that play, because law of averages, you don't really get to go that way early and for anything else, so it's basically a one-off until something else comes into play.
Rowling gonna activate his also.
Yeah, we got ourselves multi-way flute activation. Yep, the Untitled Goose is loose. Everybody take cover, Hyrule. That's one I didn't think I'd get to. I didn't even think I could come up with something like that until Untitled Goose game was released. That's a game I need to try personally.
It's a good game.
And Raylan's already up to. And Raylan's already up to Tempered Sword. Wow. So we've got Zelda's Phoenix Wright running around Death Mountain using spin speed, or rather item dash. And that's bombs on the top of Spectacle Rock. On the inside is... I did not get a good look at that because that was so quick. All sick kids got 20 rupees. Yeah. To answer chat, hints are turned off, which is honestly good practice for these runners as they're in the tournament. And it's good practice to be able to practice with flag sets where you just don't need hints, won't have hints. So far, nothing noteworthy in Paradox Cave. And 300 rupees, okay. Yeah, one more thing about the hints. There's some hint tiles that I won't go out of my way for. There are other hint tiles that, if they're in my way, easy to get to, why not? I would not be surprised if Eastern Palace wound up being stacked, but at this point, I also wouldn't be surprised if the play were, well, we can't quite go Aga 1 to Skullwoods just yet, because we need a hammer or a glove or flippers to be able to access that, and we have got the best boomerang, as it is called via hints, in Spiral Cave. Yeah, need hammer for Hera, and that's a red potion in a bottle on the desert ledge. Not required, but the empty bottles can come in handy, as can the contents. It looks like we have our first play towards Hyrule Castle by Lin Lin Lin. This could be straight for Aga 1. Nope, this is a play for the uncle. This would be a good time to route in not only the front of Escape, but the back of it too, because the key logic does allow for the full run. And there was a bow in the secret passage to the garden. That puts Eastern in full logic, but you've got checks to make here at the castle. Why go elsewhere? I'm honestly surprised nobody checked Uncle yet, because that's usually a play I make early. And with that, we are joined... Excuse me, with that, we are joined by Angel HZ. How are you doing tonight?
This is honestly way too late for me. The only reason why I still up is because I was watching some other stuff.
So, I know the feeling about too late or too early, because I run into that more often than not due to work.
Alright, so what have we seen so far?
What we have seen so far is a seed that has been very generous with giving out the swords. I thought Kakariko was going to be very stingy, but wound up giving us started with a hook shot and the lamp, and then Mini Moldorm Cave having the fire rod and the moon pearl, with the waterway giving us the flute. Death Mountain a bit of a miss, though.
Alright. So, yeah, I do see that they have gotten a lot of mobility items, as I call them.
Well, we start with boots first on Fast Friday, as Lin is doing a death warp to head back to the start of the castle.
Yeah, and the Demolisher actually finding a bottle there in a waterfall cave. Don't know if that has been looked at yet. We are gonna see the Demolisher farming a bit of rupees here in the shore area. Only the 8 rupees.
Zelga just got trolled, going for the death warp only to fill the heart container with the 4th piece of heart. That is the one time you don't want to find one of those.
That sounds irritating, but it seems Demolisher actually have a little bit of problem farming here at the same time. Sword had no rupee drops in the packs at all. So yeah, I'm gonna have to leave that behind and look at his rupee count. Only had 8 left, but didn't find anything up there. That is a 4. Yeah, we now see Salgestan and Rowland and Demolisher starting to look for the Eastern play. Yeah, it is one of the crystals, so, and they did find that early bow, so why not? However, Demolisher not been to Uncle yet, as it seems like.
Yeah, he's the only one of our 4 featured runners to have not gone to Uncle, which is the piece of the puzzle needed to beat this dungeon.
Yeah, and Lin also seems to be thinking about that location as well.
We just saw by way of hint on the Demolisher's side that the green pendant is in Skull Woods. And with us having Fire Rod, I'd say there's a non-zero chance of there's something being there. That's just me.
Yeah, that is definitely a very, very early possibility once you get to a Dark World. However, right now, I am starting to get the tingles about Aga play coming up soon.
I can think of runners that probably would have already gone for Aga in this situation. Is based off the suspicion that you would need 2 items out of Eastern to get Dark World access. Or one of them, or you get Mirror Hammer that leads you up Death Mountain, possibly for access that way. Either way, the way I'm thinking, if the access isn't here, then I'm just going for it.
Yeah, and with the fact that our runners have the hook shot, it will make them be able to get over to the eastern side, so they can do stuff like Safe Town Skullwoods, even go the whole way around down towards Hype Cave if they so chooses. So there's a lot of possibilities of what they can do once they get to the Dark World.
Yeah, absolutely. And chat bringing up a point that Eastern could be bait with the bow really being for Palace of Darkness in the Dark World, and that would be Aga Tower for Dark World access, which is very much in the realm of possibility here.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of runners definitely will be looking towards maybe waiting with Eastern until they got the mirror, because the mirror just unlocks the route in so many cool ways.
Not only cool ways that are much more optimal that you would not find in an NMG speedrun.
Yeah, of course. However, as our current situation with our thought process here, once we got to the Dark World, we still need either Hammer, Glove, or the Flippers to be able to go to the west side.
And since Eastern turned out to be a blank, the play is definitely Aga 1 climb.
Yeah, it will be really interesting to see what we find on the pyramid, and if not there, what could be hiding in the darkness of Pod.
I'm thinking it's something in the Bowlock side of Pod.
That sounds very possible. But yeah, Rallen Tiki is as it looks like gonna be our first runner into the Dark World. Demolisher now picking up the bow, giving a few frustrating slashes along with it as well, as a normal person would.
And Zelga has her first crystal before the 20-minute mark, but the actual play is to go up Castle Tower.
Yeah, and we see Rallen here just trying to avoid that Aga Tower play, or going through the escape, just like with Demolisher.
Okay, I missed that, my mistake. As Zelga now will be able to climb Castle Tower with the Tempered Sword, which will be much easier, I might add.
Yeah, and Zelga here actually is setting up the water walk so that he can go up and do a lot of stuff up in Sora. We didn't see what this gamer had earlier because the Demolisher didn't have enough rupees, but that's one thing that Zelga has.
And Raylan also got trolled! Zelga got trolled that same way earlier, now Raylan gets trolled! So that's 2 of our 4 featured runners to fall for the same thing. And if Demolisher has the same amount of heart containers, he too will fall for the same troll. This is hilarious.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, you're gonna have the 3 for 4. How are we looking at Lin? Is that one was gonna be a possibility? No, Demolisher didn't have the
No, that's not number 4 for Demol. Yeah, so strategy works according to plan for Demolisher. Whereas 2 of our featured runners fell for the same exact thing. That's too funny.
Yeah. I wonder if with Zelga I'm finding the bottle here, if he would choose to just head over and check the sick kid. Look at that beautiful B upgrade he had.
Yeah, he got the good one.
Trading the bad one for the good one.
So, Zora Ledge Vanilla, what about King Zora?
Imagine this would be the hammer letting you go to Hera. Nope.
Nope. Broken heart for sale.
Yeah. We just got a life lesson today.
Well, in more ways than one. He already had one life lesson earlier from when he got trolled.
Yeah. Alright, let's get set up another death ward. Okay, good. He didn't get healed this time. So, what does Sick Kid have today?
It was just 20 rupees.
That's sad. That's gonna be something good to skip out on Aga, but not gonna be today.
I mean, I can see why you go for out-of-logic checks in that situation, to see if you can maybe skip Aga 1, because there are occasions where, yes, you can do that, but not today.
Have you seen Lumberjack yet?
Lumberjack, I believe, was just 10 arrows.
Okay.
So our usual overworld checks take a bit of a pause here as we go into a bit of an execution gauntlet to get up to the first Aghanim fight.
Yep. Lin is now gonna go for her water checks. Have not set up the water walk, so just gonna take the little bit slower route with the fake flickering.
So with Tempered Sword, the blue guards, it would typically take 2 slashes of the Master Sword, go down in 1 slash from the Tempered Sword, which makes combat so much easier in this part of the game.
It's almost like to see the hint at you very early that this is gonna be Naga, so here, you will get the nice equipment.
And chat is reminding me that, how many blue balls will we see in the Aghanim fight? It'll be the same across all 4 of our featured runners, as well as everybody else in this race.
Yep. I'm gonna say we're gonna see 4 today.
I'm gonna go with 1. I feel like the seed was generous. Well, maybe the seed's not gonna be generous, but I'm being an optimist here.
Looking at items for an Agassiz, I think this was still pretty generous, so it's gonna be at least a few blue balls to send off to the dock.
Yeah, it's certainly generous to this point, because Fire Rod certainly helps with the early parts and the combat. Boomerang helps get the key in floor 5.
So the first one is always guaranteed here, the second one is 1 blue ball. Ha!
That's
ha,
our first.
Ha. 2 blue balls. Ha!
Yep.
Ha! Ha!
The
ha.
seed is doing its thing.
3
And just
blue
3 for
balls.
3 on blue balls in the first phase. Here comes the lightning, and then we start it up all again. This one will be red.
And we see the monster actually using the swag net for those extra swag points.
Well, to anyone thinking 15's still in play, nope, that ain't happening today, as now it's 3 red.
And there we go. 3 blue balls for the guys who guessed right in the chat.
Oops, Zelga slipping off, going back to the start of the room. Now we get to see what's on the pyramid right away instead of having to route it in. Vanilla piece of heart.
Wah, wah, wah. So that means it's time for pod.
Absolutely, the seed's bottleneck to this point, but something in Palace of Darkness is definitely going to open this thing up. The question is, what will it be? But
And we see Annie Magic.
Well, Red Pendant's at Swamp and Red Crystal is at Turtle Rock.
That is interesting.
Well, now we know we're gonna need the Ice Rod.
Yes, but it could also point to the fact that we might never see the mirror at all in this area.
Unless it turns out to be a pedestal seed, which right now is still in the realm of possibility.
Yeah, items that could still possibly there would be medallions, there's Red Cane and that Ice Rod.
Can't rule out a lift upgrade being there. Not with how the dungeons rolled.
Right. It depends though if it expects you to how they want you to defeat deserts.
Zelga's through the Aga fight.
We have a small key in the first test. And it looks like Valin's gonna start with the front, not go to the Bolak quite.
Now, this makes sense from a routing perspective to me, because you can check the front, and then going from the big key chest, you can just drop down, get that chest in the basement, and then go to the locked areas.
Absolutely, and that is a good route. However, it is that possibility that you will not find the small key in that arena test that Valand opened, and that would make so that you would have missed this test. And this time around, it was a big key, so vanilla big key for everyone.
Yeah, pod routing, especially the opening for pod, really depends on how the keys fall.
And the fact that we have boots in here, just being able to go through the long hallways and destroy some walls with them just makes this place so much.
Yeah, it definitely speeds things up. Hey, we call it Fast Friday for a reason.
Valen setting up a little death warp here as well. Trying at least. So another small key, so this one should then be, by process of elimination, another small key. Nope.
It's the map, and I believe that's the vanilla map chest as well. Pod definitely opens up a number of opportunities to death warp, especially if you don't have a mirror. So it's definitely worth taking advantage of.
Yeah, absolutely. We are running now, heading to the back. Demolisher just one room behind him.
So now we head for the backup pod, and it's completely in logic. You know, this routing sets up for Hammer Yump really nicely, because you have a small key and the big key.
Yeah, absolutely. It will be interesting to see if any of our runners will attempt that. It depends on how many keys they find on here down in the dark. So that's all the keys we need. And there is a hammer actually very well placed.
Wow. I'm just gonna shake my head and say, Christos. That's a French vanilla hammer. In a seed where getting Dark World access wasn't easy. Now, the thing that keeps us from going over... Actually, no, we can go over, my mistake. But we're already here, so we might as well finish pod off.
Yeah, it is one of the crystals, so why not? So far, two out of our 4 runners will not do that hammer jump and will just walk through this place in the normal brisk. And look at that, flippers as well.
Here we go with a loaded Palace of Darkness. This does tend to happen in these type of seeds.
I almost thought we were gonna get another troll on Rull and Tanker side there.
Oh god, if that had happened, I would have started laughing. And we do have a hammer jump attempt from Zelga.
Beautiful setup on that one as well. And Demolisher also answering with another one.
And Zelda's gonna go right from hammer jump to getting the boots.
Those water boots.
At this point, both gloves could be in Skull Woods. It's possible. I've played a seed where that has happened, so it's a rarity, but yes, it can happen.
Let's hope that happens then. Because that would honestly at this point make this seed super fast.
Right, but we could also have them in Thieves Town as well, so there's certainly a number of possibilities as to where they could be. Heck, they could both be in Tower of Hera at this point, for all we know.
So you're telling me that they had to do Aga to get the hammer so they could go back to the light world to get the gloves up on the mountain?
Hey, I'm just putting the possibilities out there at this point.
Well, it is certainly a possibility.
I mean, I could see one of them being at Catfish, so at this point, considering you have to go north to get over to the west side of the Dark World, in the Dark World, yeah, I'd say Catfish is a good play after this.
In the Dark World. But yeah, Ranlan is down with the Turtle City is now heading up towards Helmasaur.
Now, phase 1 is going to be 17 hits to the mask with the hammer. Ranlan holding the sword out to ensure that his sprite is constantly facing towards the boss. Then after that, he's got a couple of options. One, mirror to bow, but when you got tempered sword, just hack at the gem because it's much faster.
Yeah. Well, Ranlan is gonna pick up his second crystal here at 35.
Ooh,
30.
blue mail. Not bad.
That's quite nice of the seed. Demolisher having an even quicker fight, catching up a little bit of time. Also now on 2 crystals. And Selga, Kadistan and Lin and Lin is just shortly behind them.
Now, this is where things get interesting from a routing perspective because options have opened up. The question is, where are runners going to go from here? Because they have options. They could go back to Death Mountain just for Hera. They could go to Catfish. They could go directly to Thieves Town, Skull Woods. Even Hype Cave's an option here.
Yeah, definitely depends on what you think the seed is gonna throw at you next. And it seems like Ranlan is gonna go that south route for now. Hey, that cave is called Hype for a reason. I don't understand it though.
Wait a minute. Chad is correcting me. We can't get to Catfish yet without a glove, so that check is off the table at present.
Seems like Demolisher forgot about the fact that he could go south route first, but once you just head over to the east side quickly and look at that glove in Hype Cave.
That makes it a Hype Cave for sure. And yeah, that does open up Catfish, but I do not think Raylan's gonna run back north for that right now. No way.
Nah. And Zelda Garizan is also gonna skip out on it. No, he's gonna run down, okay. That saving quit made me a little bit suspicious first. Is it quicker to save and quit out of pub this way?
I would say yes, because otherwise you have to walk out of the maze. Yeah, not worth it. I mean, it would definitely be faster, even more so if you had mirror, because the game would spawn you on top of the pyramid. But without that option, I would say it's still faster, if only by a few seconds.
Okay. At least 3 of our runners is gonna have some gloves on them.
And Demolisher's waiting for the Wallmaster Express.
And just a hardened container from Digging Game as well. And Ranlan, going back to the light world, gonna use that flue to get to Seatown and Skull Woods that little bit quick.
Demolisher's going right for Mothula. With this being hinted at much earlier, this play is understandable, but is it the right play? We shall find out, because not only is it the boss, it's the green pendant.
But yeah, we see the monster doing kind of the route you do when you tend to full clear Skullwoods. You start at the back and work yourself forward.
Yeah, I've been seeing and using this route more myself with how version 31 changed the Skullwoods logic to where the pinball room is no longer a guaranteed key.
It also comes to the fact that if you can get to the 2 items at the back, you don't have to do anything at the front. But yeah, that's the green pendant for Demolisher as well, and it's gonna second Brewery. Just finish himself some little bit more for that retirement funds.
Yeah, at this point, you've got the green pendant, but you might as well just cover your bases. Make sure you're not leaving anything behind. And we've got a full heart at the treasure chest game and a small key in the back of Skullwood. So now Demolisher's going to go for some Gibdo hugs, which are 100% fatal.
Yeah, do not try that at home, kids.
Yeah, I wouldn't even recommend that on Halloween.
Yeah, but at the same time, Rallin doing a lot of quick things in the safe town, finding the big key in the third chest. Okay, so for the beginning of Safe Town, you have found the big key, small key, map, and 20 rupees. So there are 3 items in the back, and a very high possibility that there's gonna be an item in the big set.
Yeah, right now there's a non-zero chance of us having Vanilla Titans mitts in this seed.
Yep, and I've seen it too many times.
Well, once is enough, really.
I wish I only seen it once.
I think there might be something in the pinball room, as I haven't seen any items as of yet. Ooh, nice hook shot clip. I was right, that's the Ether Medallion. Now, if you want a weapon to take Gibdo out, Ether Medallion will do the job.
Quite a nice one indeed. That was just the first item in here, though, so we're gonna see the bomb jump from Demolish. Oh, Bombos.
2 medallions in Skullwoods, Bombos and Ether.
Yeah, just find yourself another glove and you're pretty much set up for Ice Palace.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. Not only are you set up for your base Fire Rod against the Freezords, you're set up with Bombos for Cold Stare.
Yeah, with Bombo, if you have Bombos on the inventory when you have half magic, it will just make sure so that even how drastic your magic depletion in an Ice Palace is, you are for most likely gonna be able to still fight the boss.
Now, chat's pointing something out. What if, and I'm gonna ask this right now. What if Quake wound up being on Green Pendant? That would be the rare medallion trifecta from the same dungeon.
Hey, sign me up for that. If not, maybe we dig it up. Rallin just found the Master Shovel in where we fought the next glove.
Well, that shovel gives us a Light World fetch quest that we would love to have Mirror for to route in with Cave 45, but chances are that might not happen.
Yeah.
Sorry, Blind, we would try to enlighten you, but there's one problem. You can't see!
Ja, no, Valentine actually doing pretty good here, staying on the script and finishes off Blind really smoothly. 3 crystals to his name as well as 3 bombs.
But right now, Skull Woods is looking awfully good with it being 2 medallions. And there's only a 1 in 9 chance that Quake was needed for both Misery Mire and Total Rock. So chances are you're going to have to go to Skull Woods in this seed.
Yep. And that was a hard container in Sea House as well. Our runners have so much defenses already.
Well, defense can make all the difference. Raylan's going for Skull Woods.
It seems like he's gonna do the same route, so not gonna find the items until after he had defeated the boss.
And that's okay, because it's better to beat the boss and get the items than get the items and have to come back for the boss, because you soft lock Owen Tank here getting smacked into the Wallmaster by the Gibdo. Extremely not nice, so he gets some payback by torching him with a fire rod. Actually torched both of them in one shot.
I want to change speaking, as I say. You normally say kill 2 birds with 1 rock. Now, fire 1 fire rod onto Gibdos.
Now Zelga's about to get locked, so we'll have to save and quit, but he'll have himself... Oh no, we won't have to... Oh, I was about to say he could have wall mastered out of that, but opts to save and quit instead.
So, right now, the Mount Hera looks very promising.
Now, before chat starts to jump the gun on calling this a pedestal seed, there is one thing left that we need to make that a reality. That
2
one
actually.
thing?
That's one of them.
Well, a book gets us into desert, plus gets us the ether tablet up Death Mountain. That made things just a little... That just made things way more interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Mountain look even more promising now because of that.
Yep, and we won't have pedestal in play until if and when we find the mirror. At that point, it would certainly become a very high possibility.
Since you're speaking so much about pedestal, let's bonk down what could be on the pedestal that we need at the moment. I've seen already people talking about Sumaya and Ice Rod. Why not Quake?
Yeah, that's certainly possible. It's the one medallion we do not have at the moment, or do not know of where it is, rather. I mean, we'll know in a moment, as Zelga's our first runner to the Ether Tablet, and that's Kana Samaria!
Someone should call Phantom Rear because that's gotta be the cave!
I think that was more or less of a chat's blessing, because chat brought that up, and it happened to be found later. Not at the pedestal, but to start off, Tower of Hera, we get a piece of heart. And yes, the mitts can definitely be on the pedestal in this seed. And we don't have to visit the basement just yet. Oh, well, here's a trick you can show your friends. Herapot.
Very fun trick. Very new as well.
Yeah, very new and found in very recent times. I Might be one I learn at some point.
Yeah, it definitely speeds up Hera a lot. However, we have seen before when you got a small kid decides, I don't want to do basement, I'm gonna go up instead. And the item needed to be the seed had been in a big chest.
And it was progression, wasn't it?
It was the medallion.
Yep. That sounds like my luck in a nutshell right there.
Yeah. But the fact that we have Temper here, we already seen it. Moldorm is dead.
Yeah, the Moldorm fight is... Wow, Hera complete blank. As it wound up being just a piece of heart and a single rupee.
So, desert. We are coming for you. And we are first gonna have a dip into Spike Cave.
Fast. Spike Cave is in logic with Cane of Burna.
And with the fact that they have so much hearts, it's not like they don't even need the blue cane at this point.
But Zelga's not taking any chances, can't blame them, and they get a shield upgrade.
Woohoo.
And what was that picked up at Green Pendant? Is that the Mix? Son of a monkey, as Fred Coughlin would say. That makes the Skullwoods dive that much more required.
This is the second scene in a random commentary on what Titans has been behind Green Pendant.
So you're saying we should have a Green Pendant at Turtle Rock, so that can't be a thing?
Yes.
Wow. This game can throw some real tricks at you.
Yeah. I mean, it will be a matter of time when Rallin and Demonisher decide to check that. This is really bad for Zelga because, yeah, decide to just run out of there.
Yeah, in terms of... Yeah, this is about as bad a possibility for Zelga as it gets, as our catfish has a red mail for us.
Oh, well, it looks fabulous today then.
I'd actually call that a plus.
Yeah. So right now, Zelga needs to have something good in here for some sort of redemption, really. But the question comes, when is Rallin and the monster gonna head over and check out that Green Pendant?
Well, they'll run out of spaces soon, but which is gonna happen first? A Green Pendant turn-in or Zelga beating Mothula?
Good question. Well, at least if you found
all
butter.
Swords.
And the shield.
And Zelga is not going to finish Desert off. Understandable.
He has the book, so if he really starts thinking that this might be a pet, he can just head over and check it out. And he might even do that right now.
Actually, no, this might not be a ped play. This might be a return to Skullwoods and finish the moth off.
Well, they does Rallin run away with his Titans and immediately run over to Meyer. Quite late this play from him with the fact that he wants to get the knowledge about what medallion he needs.
I mean, it's a 2 in 3 chance that he'll be able to enter Meyer at this point, and being able to enter allows for completion of the dungeon. Oh, Except when it's Quake.
Of course it's Quake.
Yeah, and I was sort of set up for that one.
At
Well,
least
there's silvers.
Hey, nice consolation prize. Oh, Demolis has been knocked down in the middle.
That knocked down the center hole, and Hera knocks you down 2 floors.
Youch. So to bring you the update on the PED possibilities. Kane was removed, but it still has the possibility for Quake, for Mire, and Ice Palace, eller the Ice Rod for TR.
A fire rod dash, now that's a swag strat you don't see every day.
Only the most classy of the runners prefers to do that. Yeah, looks like Lin is not gonna check out Turtle Rock, or the Dark Death Mountain quite yet, wants to check out a few other places first. It seems like the monster actually is thinking about desert as well.
Well, this will be, as somebody said in chat, and I'm gonna use this one, a sword and a board. So, well, I mean, Breath of the Wild, there is such a thing as shield surfing, so calling it a board certainly makes sense to me.
I buy it. You should patent that idea. Ronan is about to get his life lesson. Unfortunately, he did skip out on this earlier because he didn't have enough rupees when he came up here. And now he's gonna be rewarded for coming back here with a piece of heart.
Yeah, the question right now is, which of our 4 featured runners go for Ice Palace first?
That is the question. Ice Palace being one of those hated ones, unfortunately.
There are a number of runners of not only this game, but Super Metroid Link to the Past Combo Randomizer that hate Ice Palace. Me, the only thing I hate about Ice Palace really is dying the cold stare. Because that will tick me off and cause me to say a few words I cannot say on chat, and it is a double Quake seed!
Oh my god.
How could you? After giving us 2 easy medallions in Skull Woods, you decide to throw the dirty slider on us. That's just evil.
And that just makes possible PED even more of likability because of just how the seed is generated.
Here's the thing, if it's pedestal, I'm gonna borrow a page from Ocarina of Time Rando and call it Oops All Dungeons.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're going through that game and you read on one of the hints that says, so basically you need to get the Nocturnal Shadow to be able to get Let's see.
Shadow
three
Temple.
stones. Yeah, and that one is blocked behind the 3 stones. This is definitely one of those moments. But going back here to our discussion about Ice Palace, I liked it when the hints were around, because it definitely felt a bit more nice.
Yeah, because not only do you get 3 items, you get 3 hint tiles. Bumper Cave was nothing. King's Tomb is definitely a possibility, but I don't see any runner going to that without the mirror to route in Graveyard Ledge.
Let me tell you one thing here. You basically just missed Lilin second King's Tomb.
Ah, I missed it because I was off on a rant. Oops.
Whoops.
My bad.
It's fine. Yeah, it definitely seems like right now Ice Palace is the play. What could be up on that Dark Death Mountain? How much did we did see Lilin being up there, but how much did we see of the items there? And yes, Mishane also a possibility here. And I definitely agreed with one person here in that they must have accidentally switched out the daily and the tournament.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that too.
So how long do you think it's gonna be before Ranlan decides to check Ether tablets?
Probably heading up to Hera, maybe?
Might be.
Chat brings up a good point in that lack of mirror is making not only going to the Ether tablet a long walk, but there are a number of long walks as a result of not having mirror.
Well, we do have those booths for a reason.
True. I mean, while a mirror would be nice to have, we don't necessarily need it because of Swamp Palace being a pendant. Nice bomb jump by Raylan. Just to get more bombs.
Oh my god, Quake in the big cest!
At this point, a question goes into my mind. I have to ask it. Do you play it safe and go for Misery Mire, or do you throw the Hail Mary and go for an Ice Rod in Turtle Rock?
I would probably still go for Misery Mire first. And because I probably would have done Hera at this point with how we have seen the seed be. So I would have Turtle Rock left for last because of that. So I would probably not gamble Turtle Rock at this point.
I don't know if Raylan's routing is going to allow for that because they don't have Canis Tamaria and it is on the Ether tablet. So that routing would mean a Turtle Rock play would probably be the safer bet, even though it is a gamble.
It also comes to the fact that I have seen Ice Rod 5 times in Mystery Mire in the span of 1.5 years, so I'm a bit cursed from that.
I'm looking at it from an odds perspective here. Odds are you're only going to get 2 items out of Mire, and odds are it's not going to be progression. Odds are, I mean, let's put it this way. If, let me just add a little conjecture here. If Mirror winds up being in Turtle Rock, and the Swamp Palace, or Cave 45, or the Pedestal as the Ice Rod, then you've got a mandatory Turtle Rock double dip no matter how you look at it. So it's a tough call to make, really.
Yeah, absolutely. At least all of our runners are gonna have silver at the end of this. But yeah, it is a tough call, especially if, let's say, they decide to do Mire, and they find Mirror there. Would they gamble swamp at this point? At that point?
Well, another thing that Mirror does open up would be Mimic Cave, so that would also be a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Rowland's heading for the Ether Tablet and Tower of Hera.
Yeah, he can do a lot up here right now. I still think Ice's gonna be on Smith Chain.
That's another possibility I did not take into account because nobody has gone for Smith Chain, because Smith Chain without Mirror is not fun. But at the same time, I could see this being a seed where something's there.
Oh my god, Redding getting so gatekept by the dead rock on the bridge.
But Raylan does have the cane. Gonna head into Hera now. Might as well knock it out while you're right here.
Yeah. Lin has, he's gonna be our first one into Mire, decided to do that gamble. Selga showing us how to do the first room of Mire. And unfortunately, the monster didn't actually get any fairies from those bushes there. Probably wanted a bit more help before going in here. Yeah, just a lot of small keys for Selga here, and Linin at the start of Mire. Heading now to the Firelock section. And that's gonna be a map. Demolisher now. Actually, it might be deciding to just do this mission. Because of that Titans and Peg, there's a lot of tests a lot of things you can check with it. So, kind of like that thought process. Wants to clear his bases before doing a third rock tip, perhaps. Lilin's gonna skip out temporarily on the cutscene says and finds a big key there on the chest next to it.
That would be the map chest, as I do see a Smith chain play from Demolisher.
Yeah, I quite like that play, to be honest. Yeah, Lin skipping out on the cutscene, so imagine if Ice Rod would be here. Then Salaga is gonna just rock it forwards.
No, Raylan picked up the cane before he went into Hera.
And the cutscene was nothing, so Lin coming out unscathed here.
So Smith was an empty item. Now purple chests and hammer pegs are basically two checks can be done at once. And was that a spooky action from Lin?
It indeed was.
I just wasn't expecting it in the room prior, so that certainly took me by surprise.
Beautifully done, nonetheless. So, it's hammer time for Demolisher.
Oh, and the Vitreous fight is absolutely laughable with the silver arrows. Well, just don't get run over by the eyeballs too many times.
Yeah, that eyeball definitely gave it its best. But yeah, with that, Vitreous is defeated. Compass Bat, that brings Lin's count up to 7. Now here comes a gamble. Hurdle Rock or Smith Chain for Lin. As the Rallen, he's decided for Turtle Rock.
Demolisher's gone Smith Chain. And is that the purple chest part of it? And it is 20 rupees. But to bring up a point made by chat, I also consider Mimic Cave to be a part of Turtle Rock because that's the only way to get there.
Tell that to the item pool.
True that. Now, it's worth noting that because Ice Rod was not found in the other locations, by choice or by chance, Tank here does have a bit of an edge being in Turtle Rock first. However, we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. We see Demolisher stacking up his blue goose now, preparing for just dipping into those dungeons.
Yeah. Side note, I also consider this game to be a challenge because it was part of my childhood too.
As probably a lot of other people as well.
Now here's one of the worst rooms in the game. Chain Chomp Room. And there's... Well, I don't consider that completely bad, because this does let you check Mimic Cave without having to make any sort of crazy backtracking or anything of that sort. We'll see how this plays out, folks.
However, I know a lot of people will see that mirror and say, nope, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go to Swamp Palace because that is where the Ice Rod is gonna be.
At this point, even though Pedestal is in play, I still would not leave Turtle Rock, because if you do that and Ice Rod is there, that's ball game, as you would have just, there'd be no way to come back from that barring something crazy.
Yeah. Well, we have to go to Lava Cess today for the big key.
Yep, so there would have been no key skipping of any kind. Will any runner exit early? Because if so, that is one heck of a crazy gamble, and one that I wouldn't want to take. All I'm saying is it's not over until the dot dones in the IRC.
Yep. And we are seeing Ralen now passing force at Mimic Cave.
The Ice Rod could be mirror locked by Mimic Cave, so, well, we're about to find out.
Nope.
Vanilla, Piece of Heart.
Yeah,
I'm still
unfortunately.
finishing Turtle Rock here as Demolisher picks up.
Yeah, why wouldn't you do it here? You have invested so far, so just continue.
I mean, the only way I would leave Turtle Rock in this case is if I checked the pedestal ahead of time and it said that the Ice Rod was there. Because at that point, I'd call that go mode. That's just me.
Yeah.
That's the only way I leave Turtle Rock here. Otherwise, I'm here. I'm going as far as I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there
Ice
it
Rod!
is!
At
The goods were
116.15!
all there! Holy smokes, Batman! We are go mode, folks!
Wow. However, look at the difference between Ralen and, for example, Lin here. Lin is right now ahead. I would even say Selga might even be ahead here.
Yeah, because Rollin does still have to go back and do Meyer before being able to go up. Like, wow. This seed. Wow.
Yeah. Ralen setting up his safety door now as well, just making sure.
Understandably so. I think it was more or less Rollin's routing that led up here, and nope, Zelga's staying with it. For now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily count this as a jet seed, but that's just me. Then again, I'm kind of jaded in that view because I started watching these with the version 18 tournament. And those seeds, when they got hit jet seeds, they were insanely fast. As Rollin taking on Trinex.
Oh, I can just imagine. Yeah, this one felt more like what another one would call a scheduled flight, with the fact that everything goes by so fast, and it was a bit linear to get started, absolutely, but it still went by pretty.
Yeah, the front half of this seed was definitely linear, with routing options that opened up towards the back half of it. And from there, you hit the right order, and you were on your way. But how many seeds in this rando turn out to be right order seeds? I'd say plenty of them.
Yeah.
But on the bright side for our runners, it was just Aga Green Pendant, not Oops All Dungeons.
Yeah, as we saw on Linear Lin just immediately go into that because of the possibility for it. Well played.
That is definitely the right read. Ice Rod, Turtle Rock, and Required Green Pennant were certainly the two big routing moments, and the sooner you figured those out, the quicker this seed went. I mean, so not every seed's gonna be like this, because that's what makes Rando.
Yeah. But yeah, the fact that right now we see Lillian here has tempered, doesn't have really to worry about the magic uses here. That being said, starting to get a little bit low, but was able to finish off the fire ahead without having to use any goo. And it's gonna go into phase 2.
This seed, wow.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, folks. It's called fast gaining for a reason. You don't even have to go up the Annan's Tower. The pyramid is already open for business.
Yeah. Don't save the guesses for the next seed.
Yeah, see, we got about 2 hours before the guesses are really needed anyway, so save the guesses for that seed, for the qualifier.
Yeah, and I did see earlier that the race room is open.
That it is. And here's Gannon. Now this setup is a good setup for Lin, as it is kind of like Dark via God Corner, but a little different because you can't just spin and get bounced into the corner. No, you got to be careful about your positioning because you can still easily find yourself in a position where you can take damage.
Yeah. Right now though, Ganon been pretty nice in phase.
Well, maybe the Ganon RNG is set on a fast Friday. I don't know. This is my first one. It's certainly been fun.
Ooh, nearly no got the fight towards Glitch there, and he's gonna be having a double there as well. What a beautiful Ganon fight.
Double. That was an insanely good Ganon fight. We got bacon. Get your GGs in chat. For our restream winner, I'll get you the time shortly, is Lin over the bridge. Finishes in first place on the restream, second overall, only to Bonta, who finished with a 117.37. Lin, second overall with a 122.10. And third overall, Blaine with a 122.52. Get your GGs in chat, because, woo! Man, that was something.
Of course it's Bonta who gets that first place.
But Bonta was in my group last tournament. I can say he's really good. With that, we are joined by our restream winner, Lin. GG, well played.
GG.
Man, that Titansmith play, that was amazing.
I mean, like, I'm really low on spots. Even though I find those 2 medallions, I kind of need to finish it because I'm there, right? Because I have nothing else here. So I can't really leave it at this point. I'm really low on spot. Like, I have Catfish, Spike Cave Hera. Where did I get the book again? Oh, yeah, I had that trouble, but I didn't know I had the book.
Book was dug up.
Yeah, but like I didn't have it when I was in Skullwoods, so it wasn't part of my plans.
Nice triple by Zelga to finish off Ganon on their end, and they'll finish up with... I'll get you that time in a moment, because our 4th place finisher, Dragon Strike 1988, set a new personal best in this category with a 123.15. Zelga finished 5th with a 123.50, and Salty Fry 6 with a 124.19. More GGs and more bacon.
But yeah, the main reason here why you came a bit ahead of the others here was that they decided to semi last location the green penitentiary.
Like I said, like after I got that hammer from Pod, so that's gonna join soon, I guess. But I'll finish my explanation. I think that I got that hammer from Pod. Like I still decided to check the south side. Like I don't know if they went around with the hookshot with it.
There was only one runner who decided to do that.
Okay. I mean, and then you go to T-Town, you clear it, and then you found those 2 medallions in Skullwood. Like I said, there's not much choice after that. That's why I just did it, so I don't have to come back. Like especially without mids.
Tank tier just went down again in phase 2. Bounces right back up, goes right back in.
Please continue, Lillian.
Yeah, like I don't remember what I was going to say, but yeah, I was really low on location at that point. And I didn't want to commit, especially Hera. I didn't want to go to Hera. Really, I didn't want to go there. So that's why I just killed Green Bannon. Oh, what I wanted to say is like, even though you have hammer and glove, going through the portal and the outcast going around to Lost Woods is kind of painful. That's long. That's very long. And like there's basically only that here, Green Bannon. That's it.
Yeah.
I was also tempted to leave after the mirror, kinda, but I still decided to stay kinda safe in my play, and yeah, I was there. But at least that mirror allowed us to save and quit to Ganon. That was nice.
Yeah, and with that, we see Runner now on the second try finishes off Ganon as well, as we are also joined by Salga. Welcome.
Hey, GG's. Thank you.
Hey, it's okay, GG.
Hey, GG's.
So, what about that Titansmith?
I actually kind of expected it, and it was just that my route that I chose. I chose really bad routes for this seed. The fire rod had been absolutely nothing, so I kind of figured it was going to be there, but the routing I did not really help at all. I hard last location Aga, hard last location the Titan's mitts. The only thing I had left before Turtle Rock was a mirrorless Smith chain, and I'm not doing that. So this is just constant last location after last location for the seed. But I mean, it's hard to complain too much. I still had a really good time.
Half a regret is, I think, me not going into Vice Palace and not just like, especially after I checked Meyer, taking the big key, taking the big key and check the big chest, and my regret there, because if I checked the big chest, I think I would have left after checking it, but I decided to full clear it still.
Yeah, that's fair. I full cleared Meyer as well. I did the cutscene vanilla big key before I ever got around to the big key chest. So
I was also tempted to do that, like kind of wanted to avoid it, so I just went for the spike. I mean, the right chest with the big key. I still left the item after I killed Vitreous.
well, you only missed a sick 20 rupees, so no worries.
Well, if anyone knows the pain of last locationing stuff, right here. That's been my story so far in the qualifiers.
Same. And with that, we are now also joined by Ral and Tanky. GG.
GG, Rollin. Now, the way your late game routing actually worked out really well, because you were the first runner on Restream to come up with both the mirror and the ice rod. And when we saw mirror, we were starting to wonder, is anyone going to bail for Swamp Palace and make that gamble? Nobody did.
Yeah, when I saw that mirror pop up, I was cursing heavily, so thank God my mic was
Same.
muted.
To be fair, who wouldn't have been?
It's like you don't see that for the whole seed, and in the last dungeon it appears. You're like, okay, fine.
I mean, honestly, I was glad to see it because I was thinking my only chance for winning this was a pedestal seed. And then even after that, it was just, well, okay. Now that I have a mirror, I can just save and quit and be right on top of the pyramid.
Well,
Yep.
that's also true. Did not think of that at the time.
Yeah, I had quite a few checks left before going to Turtle Rock, so I kind of wanted the ice rod to be up here. So
I mean,
seeing the
when you
mirror
have
was
like Smith Chain, the mirrorless Smith Chain, what did I have left? I didn't go to Catfish because I never managed to route that in. I think that's it. And Desert, I didn't do Desert. I didn't touch Desert. I wanted to go straight to TR. Yeah, like you're just going to TR in my opinion. Like Smith Chain is not worth at all. Like I'm fine losing to a Smith Chain play. I'm actually fine losing to that.
Yeah, as soon as I went to Desert, like on the run there, I was really regretting it. A, because I realized about a third of the way there, I have a flute. I should have just fluted. B, because I had already got Samaria from Ether Tablet, so I was pretty sure that that was the end of the book being valuable. But I was still going to Desert anyway. And, I mean, it had a sword, but it really didn't matter.
Yep.
I am actually pretty happy with how I played it. I think I read the seed reasonably well, and me being only a few minutes behind people like Zelga all in shows actually that I probably had a good routing because my execution is not that great. So I am happy, kinda.
Actually, like tried some early route. I was discussing with Goomba when you have boots like this. Like we saw Ike doing that during SG Life. Like arming a water walk, taking the whirlpool straight to Ice Rod Cave, and checking waterfall and hobo very early into the seed. Which was kind of nice because I got a bottle and then I did Soulstrow and I got the flute before going to Gag. That was nice.
Yeah, I can assume so. That was something pretty nice.
I mean, I don't really want to talk about the first 30 hours, especially somewhere in the back of Escape. The nasty little harpies there almost ruined my day.
That made for some pretty good chuckles, though, admittedly, because Zelga and Roland both got hosed by that. I can't think of who was it that was able to death warp out of there, is what I'm trying to say here.
Lin.
I didn't. I mean, I checked Escape very early, and I did Escape before Eastern because I didn't go to Uncle's. I didn't have my bow. But when I was there, I just have to clear Escape. I already have the small key and the lamp as well. I can go to the back. And that's why I just cleared Escape, especially with boots. It's kind of fast. So I didn't have that problem in the back of Escape. I just stayed and go to do something else.
And that's 7 crystals for Demolisher, gonna be heading off to the pyramid.
Yeah, only the pig standing in his way. He has the butter, he has the silverware. He just go in and get the stuff over with.
Yep, time to get the bacon.
Let's see if the first attempt is better than mine.
Doing the dash strats.
This is another strat that I've seen runners pull off over my years of this rando. I still haven't learned it, but Demolisher gets demolished by a fire bat.
Ouch.
So round 2, boy! So one thing I am going to ask is, we are coming up on the time for the qualifiers later tonight. Who here is actually going to be partaking in that?
Going to bed something early. Already did 3, so guess I'm fine for now. I'll probably watch the beginning, but probably gonna fall asleep in front of it.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Way too late for me. I mean, playing this one already was pushing it, so starting now, no way. I have to sit this one out, probably. Going to take the next one tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's 4:40 for me in the night here, so I might not do it. A little bit too late.
I see already 95-ish engines. That's actually wild.
Yeah. I'm working early tomorrow, so I won't be able to. But that Demolisher has finished off Ganon and finished off our restream with a time of 1:36.26. That is our 12th place time, as we've had finishes by I Am the Schwartz 7th, 1:25.33. Wait, I lost track of where I read off, so we'll just call that a case of the late night Fridays. That's the best way I can put it. And we are joined by Demolisher, GG.
Mike's muted. That was awful.
Well, to be fair, it wasn't as bad as some of the qualifiers.
Everything went downhill when Meyer was not Almost or Ether.
I could not believe that. In fact, I'm going, as soon as we're done, I'm going back and clipping up my reaction to seeing Meyer and TR as both, because I'm like, that was just unbelievable, because that was a 1 in 9 chance happening. And the seed threw that curveball. Totally wasn't expecting it.
I actually was. As soon as I pulled Bombos out of the skull, I knew it had to be double Quake.
Yeah, the seed was very, very generous with those 2 medallions.
Like, even if Meyer was Quake, I would have been fine with that if Turtle Rock was one of the other ones.
Same, and that's why I went to the mountain. So like, fine, if you don't want to give me my Meyer access, I'll get it into the rock.
Yup. My thoughts exactly.
Yet the game said no, much to the chagrin of everybody involved, and much to the surprise of commentary.
It was terrible.
Well, do we have any last thoughts from you guys before we wrap this up?
I like my early game routing. getting the shovel in Thievestown into the book. I thought it might have had people there.
I mean, like, I was in the dark world, so I just didn't check it, and just got... I got the book, and I still decided to take Green Pendant after that. That's it.
Yeah.
But anyways, like, thanks for the restream, GG's to all the runners. Like, I actually had a great day, because I won the first daily today, so, and got second on this one, so... Great day for me, I guess.
That is a good day, I will agree.
Just transfer that to the qualifiers.
Yeah, I'm trying, but it doesn't work.
Good luck.
Yeah. I know I raced in the first 2 qualifiers and my luck did not pan out at all.
Yeah, I'll just hop in and say the same as Lynn. Just thanks for the restream, having me on. I always appreciate being able to kind of be featured. Appreciate the tracking, commentary, restream. I know it's a lot of work on the back end, so thanks for having me. And GG's, everyone.
Yeah, GG's to all our runners, and give our runners a follow as well. They definitely put on a heck of a show for us tonight.
Yeah. So make sure to stay by. You're gonna have a little break here coming up in about
30 minutes.
30 minutes, yeah, 30 minutes. We are gonna see the next qualifying race, both here on Speed Gaming 1 or on the ALTTP Randomizer 1 if you want to go that way. Anyway, my name has been Engels.
And I'm Leslie Pro. You guys have a good night, and if you want more Link to the Past Randomizer action, stay tuned, because in about 30 minutes, we will be back here on, not only, as my co-com Angel Hertz mentioned, here on Speed Gaming Main, A Link to the Past Randomizer. Both of those channels will have action for the next qualifier in the 2019 main tournament. It's going to be a lot of fun. For those of you who can stay up for it, don't miss it. Those of you who have to get to bed, well, hey, sometimes you got to prioritize life. I know how it is. So that being said, for my co-com Angel Hertz, Professor Renderer, who was here earlier, our 2 trackers behind the scenes, White Wolfos and Captain MD13, I'm Leslie Pro. Have a good night, folks. We'll see you next time. Watch out for Lionels and trolley item locations.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.